Morning, everybody. It's 8:38 on this Tuesday morning, the 23rd of April, and this is your pre-opening comment video number 2151. Asia is a little bit higher. Europe is mixed. The futures are slightly higher. I'll get to that in a second. And the yield, there's an auction today, but the yield is back up to about 465 or so. NASDAQ is up 65. The Dow is up 108. And the S&P is up about 16. As far as the futures go, we have the grains slightly lower in the corn and soybeans, although, as per our discussion yesterday and over the weekend, the soybeans did, in fact, open slightly lower and then had a really nice rally. So we opened slightly down after what looks like a reversal from support. And we then ran up to, well, let's see, we had closed on Friday at 1165. We were down to 1159 and change, and then popped up over 10 cents a bushel to 1176. So reversal day, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. The 5 day is clearly trying to bend up and move higher. And of course, this MACD that I mentioned, um, definitely moving in the right direction for a bullish crossover. I'm still not sure this is anything more than a short-term trade, but nonetheless, it has worked. Energy is down across the board. We have the crude oil right back down pretty close to support. I think I called it 79 to 81. And we did have a strong rally early yesterday, and then we came back down and closed just slightly lower. This morning we were higher again, and we are trading pretty much on the low, but this orange line right here is the 50-day moving average, so we're there. A look at it on a little longer term basis, where you can see what it is that I'm seeing. This is the 2 year weekly. We have a nice rounded bottom here. We have this downtrend line that goes all the way back to the highs here in last year, March of 22, through this top, and then we're above it, and all we've done so far is pull back to the line. So that's a pretty interesting chart. Let's see what else I can tell you here. The gold and the silver are both lower, not as bad as yesterday, but certainly not good. The gold is back to about 2,300. The low was 2,304. The silver getting a little tamer today after yesterday's dramatic drop. This is actually the time when I see this kind of dramatic break. Yesterday we were down $1.60, and $1.60 was pretty stout. As far as a percentage move, it was three times what the gold moved. But I'd like to see us test this breakout. That would be down around 26, 27. And that was the last important high area. So, a pullback to there without a failure would really look nice on this chart. Copper is down a little after being up strongly all last week and the beginning of this week. As far as the stock futures, as I said, they're slightly mixed. The dollar index is down a little. Bitcoin and Ethereum down a little. The bonds down 9/32, which is 5/16, so a little bit over a quarter of a point. We also have economic news today. We have the S&P Global U.S. Manufacturing PMI, the S&P Global U.S. Services PMI, and new home sales, but none of those come out before the market opens. The first two come out at 9:45, and new home sales comes out at 10. Now, as far as what we saw late in the day yesterday and overnight, we had some decent earnings. And by the way, we also have earnings from Tesla, Texas Instruments, and Visa this afternoon after the close. Um, Apple basically unchanged on iPhone sales in China, declining 19%. Boeing anticipates slower increase in its jet production uh, rate because of supplier shortages and the fact that they don't know how to do quality control or are too lazy. Cadence had earnings last night. They beat, but their guidance was a little on the soft side. 267 down 1802. Danaher beat by 20 cents and beat on revenues. That's a nice way of looking at it because most of these stocks, even the beats, are versus dramatically lowered expectations. So Danaher is 252, and that's up about 16. GE beat by 17 cents, raises their outlook. The stock is 157 and three quarters, up seven and a half or 5%. General Motors beats, big deal. The stock is up 220 at 45.41. Hey, but Joe Biden says, they're number one in his book, and he loves the F 150 Lightning. Okay, Joe. Kimberly Clark beat 134 up 507. They beat on earnings, they beat on revenues, they raised their outlook. PepsiCo beat by 9 cents. Inline earnings reaffirmed guidance. The stock is down 18 cents. Sherwin-Williams missed by a nickel, missed on revenues, and guided below consensus. That one is just below 300, 299.44. That's down 982 or 3%. Spotify beat. Let's see, they beat by 35 cents, inline revenue and guidance above consensus, 296 up 24. Tapestry, um, they're still fighting with the FTC about their acquisition of Capri, and the stock is basically unchanged. And UPS also beat reported inline revenue, guided inline. The stock is 146.40, up 104. If there's anything dramatic that goes on with any of those PMI numbers, I will get back to you on it and, of course, post it in the Discord room. Have a good one, folks. Don't forget tonight, Tesla, Texas Instruments, and Visa.